Righto, mate.
The other one.
Here we
The
go.
other one goes back to 2009, and this actually is a legitimately never been told football story, Ben. It involves someone in this box and distantly another person in this box. 2009, North Melbourne was moving out of the Dean Laidley coaching era. It was ultimately to appoint Brad Scott, as we know. But in the process of going through all of that, there were power brokers at the North Melbourne Football Club, Bill. This is part of their investigation.
Hang on.
Power brokers.
Power brokers.
Power brokers.
Yep.
Yeah, keep going.
Power brokers. The biggest power brokers the club's ever had. People who were instrumental to the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Patched together arguably the greatest coaching lineup of all time and put it to the two gentlemen I'm about to raise the names of. They being, Bill.
Yes, who?
Malcolm Blight. Was asked to coach.
Who have you asked
hang on,
about
Duck.
this? I know you're talking to Blighty the other week.
Yeah. Let him go.
Let me go.
It's
Because
an
I'm about to get to you in a minute.
investigation. Yeah.
So Malcolm Blight was approached and was on the hook to become coach of North Melbourne in 2008. And this is the bit, Jim, which is explosive here. Given you had an association with the club
I
at
was
the
the
time.
president of the club.
Yes.
I'm just looking at the
A
book.
board
An
member of the
association.
club at the time put this to Malcolm Blight, and part of this plan had a succession plan as part of it, Bill.
Yes.
With Wayne Carey to take over as coach from Malcolm Blight after 2 years
Now, Duck,
of Malcolm Blight
shush,
being coach.
shush,
Now,
Duck.
Duck, I don't care if you deny it. I
Yeah.
know it's fact.
So, well, Jim's the president. At the time, Jim. Do you know anything about this?
No. Where did this come from?
Oh, you don't know
by the
anything
way?
about it.
Where have you got this from?
I have got this on, to use a phrase going around in media these days, impeccable sources.
So who were the power brokers that put this together?
I have been told it was Ron Joseph who went
Power
to
broker?
Malcolm Blight to offer him, not just offer him, but give him a package, basically.
Yes.
Took him out, wine and dined him. Now, Duck.
Duck, come on.
I know that you won't want to talk about this, but I also know that you were basically on the hook as well as part of this succession plan with Malcolm Blight.
You know what? The fact that you found out, B&B, JB, have most of their investigations have been pretty ordinary. Let's be honest.
Very.
But
But the fact that you can dig this up, because this, nobody knows about this at all, other than the people that actually spoke on the phone.
so it's true.
I can say that I did receive phone calls from Ron Joseph, and spoke to Blighty as well about.
You actually spoke to Blighty?
Actually spoke to Blighty. We're going to go and play some golf. I was just more interested in the golf.
Yes. And what was the deal that you were told?
2 years.
The deal that I don't remember it, to be honest. I don't remember a lot about it, other than that they wanted me to come back to the club and be involved as a coach under Blighty,
And then to take over.
and then to take over from Blighty.
You didn't think to share this with the president at the time?
So the president didn't know, did
you
he?
didn't need to
honest-
pick up the phone
to
and
be
say,
honest,
oh, by the
I
way,
didn't think
JB.
I didn't think to share it with anyone because, although I did go out, I've got to admit, I went out. I thought about it, told no one, didn't even tell my brother or anyone. So just basically sort of thought, oh, okay, but walking through the mall there at Broadbeach, and I wasn't in the greatest space then as well, Bill, but went through Broadbeach. I thought I'd buy myself a Norm Smith hat. And and an overcoat, and just sort
Imagine
of,
Duck coaching, by the way.
It would have been all right, I reckon.
No,
Imagine Blight and Carey
Now,
coaching
Jim,
North Melbourne.
you're president of the club.
Ron Joseph.
You were president, Jim.
Ron Joseph, by the way, was part of the committee formed to appoint the new coach.
Yeah.
Well,
With Donald McDonald, Trevor O'Hoy, Eugene
O'Hoy.
Rocker.
Well,
So he's just gone rogue on them and decided to put his own ticket together.
I heard it was on, Jim. It was.
Jim,
It was actually
Give me
on.
a spill.
Jim, do you know
Give
anything?
me a spill.
Do you know anything about
No.
what we're talking about?
Give me a spill.
Oh, he's a liar.
Just
The police
asking
duck came, Clint.
what was assembled as a committee to appoint Brad Scott, which was a very good appointment.
Yes, it was.
Very
Yep.
good appointment.
Yeah.
might have got a couple of premierships for him.
Have a listen to Duck.
A couple more.
I delivered it. I
But to
delivered
have
a
the
couple
great
as a
man
player.
Malcolm Blight back, that would have been magnificent.
With Duck beneath him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you know what, Bill? I do remember it, and it's actually 100% true. I remember the phone calls.
Yep.
Not a lot of phone calls, Bill, but a few in regards to it. And I was pretty firm, and I said, look, no,
How
absolutely
could you
not.
have those two in a room? Blight and Duck.
Imagine the conversation.
Oh, well, one of
What
be
about the
talking
day
about
I
himself.
did this?
Well, I didn't know what I did better than that. I kicked 8. Well, I kicked 9.
Did you kick 100, Duck? No, I did.
Wow, imagine in the box.
Did you win a Brownlow, Duck? No, I did.
They're 10 goals down. They're arguing who was a better player.
want to imagine if they got Dermot in as a consultant.
Dermot,
Just get him in at YouTube.
Well, they offered it to Dermot before that.
Hey, by the way, Dermot got offered the. Well, they
Yeah,
were
he
looking
did.
at Dermot
He
before
did.
Dennis
That's true.
Pagan.
Yeah, they
That's true.
They were, and then they
That
thought
was Ron Joseph too, wasn't it?
that's when Dermy used to ride around on the Harley, and they
That's
thought,
it.
well, probably not the greatest the coach riding on the Harley.
He'd probably turn up to training an hour late every training session, wouldn't he?
Was there anything in writing, Duck?
Hey?
Was there anything in writing?
Contract?
No riding. No.
I think Blighty might have got something in writing.
Any money?
I actually don't know.
Any money?
I might have taken a little bit then. No.
Hey, John, we revealed earlier today on Triple M Footy that in 2009, North Melbourne Power Brokers, and this is official, so you can take this as fact, approached Malcolm Blight to coach and to have Wayne Carey as his understudy to then take over in 2 years' time after 2009. It's a factual story. Duck's confirmed. But how would that have gone, John, given you know that both those men very, very well?
It would have been an interesting match. I reckon Blighty would have been centre half forward and Duck would have been full forward. The forward line structure would have been interesting, wouldn't it? At 2 stars of the
Would have
game.
been very attacking.
Oh, imagine the commentary in the coach's box and they're talking about who's the better player.
Hey, no defence, Bill. No defence. Just goals.
Don't worry about it.
Talking to John Longmire, full forward for the team.
No, we know that. He knows that.
50
We know
years
that.
for New South Wales.
We all know that.
We
Bill.
know that, Bill.
Yeah.
For 50 years, Jim.
Yeah, well done, Bill.
Now you've
Now he's
forgotten who we got.
I was going to ask him something about last night, Horst.
Hey, Duck, while we're on, Horse, while we're on Duck, and the Bud and Duck, everyone knows that no one wants to get into the better player bit because that's all subjective and different eras. But I want you to ask this: who's got the more significant swagger? Was it Bud or Duck? Whose shoulders rolled more?
Or Duck, Lance's swagger's only on the ground.
Oh, yes!
Does that answer it?
That is
That answers it.
superb answer.
Well done. Perfect.
Come on, horse. I was a quiet country boy.
Oh.
Good you were.